Hi friends! As we celebrate Easter week, we just wanted to come and just provide you with a resource that we've been using in our family for years, and just working as we work with children, we've been using this. And of course we know that Easter, Resurrection Day, right, is not about eggs, it's not about the Easter bunny, it's about Jesus. We have these eggs here, Olivia's gonna help me, and they are used to tell the story of Easter. So we're going to share with you the story of Easter, the events of the week leading up to Easter with eggs. Ready? So first we have
a donkey. It's a donkey because when Jesus was going into Jerusalem and he was riding on a donkey.
So of course, who has this at home? But you can symbolize that story of the entry into Jerusalem, Palm Sunday, with a blade of grass, with a leaf, just to have the children talk about that first Sunday, that day. The next one, we have some coins.
They are coins because...
Who got coins? Who they give coins to?
The soldiers gave Judas coins.
And this was when Judas sold or betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. We have 3 coins to represent 10 each. But he told them, the man that I kiss is the man that you're looking for, right? And so that's how they were able to get Jesus, to arrest him. So the next one we have
a cup. It's a cup because when they were having the Last Supper and Jesus and his disciples were drinking from a cup just like this.
So the cup symbolizes the wine, and Jesus said to do this in remembrance of me, and that's when they took the bread and drank the wine. And so to represent this piece of the story, we can use bread, or better yet, a cracker, so that it's not moldy, but that helps to talk about the Last Supper. And then the next one we have here are praying hands.
Praying hands. They're praying hands because when Jesus was praying to God, his Father, and when he was praying, his disciples were sleeping when they were supposed to be praying.
And this also, do you remember the garden? The name of the garden that he was praying in?
Garden Gethsemane.
The Garden of Gethsemane, when Jesus was praying. And he was praying really, really hard. And there was, do you remember?
He was sweating with blood coming out his sweat.
Mm-hmm. Because he knew everything that he was going to go through, right? That he was really going to suffer. And he said, God, this is really hard, but I don't want, and it's better that I don't have to go through it, right? It would be better for me if I didn't have to suffer. But it's not what I want, God. It's what you want. And so he was able to go through what he did, right? Okay, so if you don't have this, if you don't have the praying hands, I recommend that the kids draw something and put it in. Just draw hands and put it into an egg. Or if they have like a little figure, maybe the Lego figures, just to highlight the hands so they can remember, either put them up in the air. I think the easiest and the smallest thing that would fit in here is a Lego figure. And so they can, they would remember the praying hands. The next one that we have is
a rope.
A leather, a piece of leather.
A
leather strap.
It's a leather strap because when they were hitting Jesus with the thorny crown on his head and the cross, when he was holding it, they were hitting him.
So when they beat Jesus with the whip, right? And of course, it wasn't just a piece of leather. It had a lot of things on it. It had that cut up his skin, his body, right? So we're just using a piece of leather to represent that here. So you can even use a string, a rope to put into the egg.
And
good.
And on this rope, the Bible said that there was a cut all the way here down to his foot.
They hit him everywhere, right? They beat him that you weren't even able to recognize who he was. So the next one
is the thorny crown. He was wearing it when he was holding the cross and they were whipping him.
So they put the crown of thorns on his head, almost making fun of him, right? Saying, you say that you're the king of the Jews. So a king wears a crown, right? And so they put that on him, right? Just to make fun of him. And of course it had thorns, so it made him bleed and it hurt.
And those thorns went inside his brain.
Right. So you can use a twig if you don't have a rose bush around, just to.
Or you could make a figure.
So the next one that we have
is a cross, when he died on the cross for our sins.
So this cross, it's a cross, but it's actually nails. So it represents the 3 nails, right? The nails, do you remember where they put the nails?
They put the nails here, and his feet were like this. And they put that one hole right there.
So you just need 1 nail to put in here. If you have 3, great, just nails to put into the next egg. The next one is...
It's a die. They have this die because they were playing this game and they would know which one to take Jesus' clothes.
The soldiers gambled, right, for the clothes that was on Jesus, and so the winner, the one who won the game, they cast lots for the clothes, for Jesus' clothes. The next one,
we have a spear. The spear is when they make sure that they were standing on the side and they were holding it. The Bible said that a spear went inside the side of his stomach, so that they make sure he was dead.
Right. So he was already dead, right, on the cross. And usually they would break the legs of the person on the cross to make sure they were dead. But when they got to Jesus, he was already dead. And so they didn't break his bones, and that fulfilled one of the prophecies, or one of the things that Jesus has said that God has said in the Old Testament, that none of his bones would be broken. And so a spear would put on through his side. And something that you can put in the egg instead of this would be a toothpick. It's just a little stick with a sharp edge, so that they can remember this part. So the next one is
a cloth. So when he went in the empty tomb, they wrapped him up before they laid him on the rock. And then that is when he was in the empty tomb.
So he was wrapped in linen cloth. And so for this, you can just take a piece of gauze and
or paper, or like napkin or toilet paper.
Okay. And here we have
a rock.
A rock.
For when he was inside in the tomb. So when they had this rock, it was covering the empty tomb, so it could be dark and nobody could see.
And to make sure that nobody took the body, right? It wasn't a rock like this. This is just to symbolize the stone. They put a stone outside the tomb, outside the hole, to cover it and make sure that nobody took the body, right? But then the tomb was empty.
And he rose again.
So you can be as brief as you want, or you can go into as many details even as the children get older. So this is something that can be used year after year to tell the story, and we want to provide you with some eggs if you don't have. I know, like I said before, maybe some families are not going into the stores, but we have some plastic eggs, and then you can take some of the ideas to replace the little things that we showed here, and tell the story over and over. Next week, even the children over the weekend, next week the children can continue to do this, and even share the story with family during this time that we can't go over their homes. Just talk about what this weekend means to us. So I hope you enjoyed this. God bless you.
Bye.